question, the member from Oxford.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, my question is to the Minister of Municipal Affairs and Housing. Minister, there's a problem at the Housing Service Corporation that can't wait for your review or the passing of my private member's bill. Housing Services Corporation is pushing housing providers to make tenant insurance mandatory, and tenants are only being told about the HSC's tenant insurance. The insurance company, the broker, the general managing agency who are doing the work are getting paid, but tenants are also paying 5% to go back to the HSC.
Minister of Government Services.
Do you approve of HSC getting a 5% kickback on insurance premium paid by the people who can least afford it?
Thank you. Minister of Municipal Housing Affairs.
Well, what I understand, Mr. Speaker, is that the Housing Services Corporation is operating under the legislation
the member from
passed by the government party opposite when they were in government, and the regulatory regime around that was spelled out by them, including the pooling and some of the financial aspects of that. Speaker, I've answered this question before. Very simply put, we're doing a review. We're doing a review because we put accountability measures in place that weren't there. We discovered there were some difficulties. I share the concern of the member opposite, and we're responding to fix the problem. It's as simple as that.
Thank you. Supplementary.
Minister, this is taking advantage of people who are living in social housing, and it's happening today under your watch. In Oxford, staff simply called the local insurance broker for a quote and got a lower rate than HSC's tenant insurance, probably because HSC insurance is inflated to pay them a 5% kickback. Under your watch, HSC is taking money from special housing tenants and spending it on trips to Europe, bottles of wine, lobster, and questionable investments in Manchester, England. Minister, will you contact the HSC today, ask them to stop the kickback, lower the prices, and refund the money taken from tenants in the social housing unit?
Thank you, Minister.
Well, Mr. Speaker, let me just share some of the anecdotal comments that we've received from some of the municipalities that.
The member from Renfrew. And the member from Oxford, you asked the question. I'm sure you want to hear the answer. Thank you.
Thanks, Mr. Speaker. HSC works for us housing providers by leveraging our combined buying power in the private market, making sure we get the best deals. PO Housing Corporation. Through the gas program, we've seen stable pricing and value-added programs tailored to our local needs. When it comes to insurance, they help to guide us through the risk management by giving us a better understanding of where we might be vulnerable and how to manage that risk. Windsor, Essex Community Housing. Quote, I've been very impressed with HSC's work in bringing together.
Final supplementary.
Minister, your government is famous for trying to dodge responsibility. The Premier has been doing it for weeks on the Sudbury mess, delaying her meeting with the OPP and refusing to hold her staff accountable. But your efforts to dodge the blames are hurting people in social housing. Minister, most of the problems in Social Housing Services Corporation started in 2007 until now, long after your government was elected. Now you know that your review doesn't cover any of these problems. You're only doing a review for the last 2 years. So, Minister, will you call in the auditor? And will you contact HSC today, ask them to stop the kickback, lower insurance, and refund the money to tenants in social housing?
I think I heard a heckle that I'm not happy with, but I don't want to assign it to someone. Minister.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, I think the party opposite, the member opposite, insists on too strict a paradox, that we do well what they weren't prepared to do at all.
Precisely.
The reality is,
precisely. Come on.
And by the way, Mr. Speaker, it's a challenge that we can easily rise to do well what they didn't do at all. In terms of dodging responsibility, we didn't do that. When I reviewed reports, Mr. Speaker, outlining some of the difficulties, I wrote to the board. They're now buying into Cabinet and Treasury Board.
The member from Simcoe North will come to order. Finish, please.
To expense guidelines, there have been some changes at the board, and they've requested us to work with them to bring in a third-party evaluator. We're looking at what's broke and how to fix it. While I share the concerns of the member opposite, we depart on what the solution is.
Thank you.